Good day and welcome back to another World of Warcraft video. In this video we're going to take a look at Rogue, probably the last class I'll look at the patch notes for. Just because it's kind of like the last class that I play somewhat regularly. Shaman, look, I've played a bit, but there are a lot of Shaman changes. And I am not good at Shaman. I am objectively terrible at Shaman. And I'm not really the good person to judge in Warlock as well. I haven't actually played properly since basically BFA, so I would be a complete waste here. I might do Warrior, but we'll see. Probably might do Warrior as my last one. So let's take a look at Rogue. Rogue, comparative to other classes, not as many changes. So basically Rogue, like they always say, talents have been slightly changed, pathing updated. Shadowheart, Leech increased by 3% while stealth. Okay, that's fine, nothing crazy. Acrobatic strikes been redesigned, auto attacks increase auto attack damage. Your movement speed by 1% for 3 seconds, stacking up to 10%. So this is a fine change just to provide some more mobility, basically, and allowing you to have the ability to move around a bit more in fights while still doing damage off of your auto attacks, which I think is fine. Cut to the Chase is now learned at level 18, and now triggers from Envenom, Dispatch, and Eviscerate. This is important, I think, as well. All rogues need to have this, having Cut to the Chase. Being able to trigger off of Envenom, Dispatch, Eviscerate is just way better for all of their class specs to function. Tight Spender now reduces energy cost of finishing moves by 6% while 10%. This is to compensate, I think, for the change with Cut to the Chase being introduced. Subterfuge effect duration is now 3 to 6 seconds, and there's now a 2-point talent. Look, I think it's okay. I think for me, quite expensive, but I think the change warrants it. This is a very powerful ability in a lot of situations. Airborne Irritant now reduces appliance duration by 70% whilst 40%, and gives an 80% duration when applied in an area. It's just increased utility. Shadow Dance has been removed from the class talent tree to the Subtlety tree, and Night Stalker has been removed. So let's look at Assassination. We have Rapid Injection. Envenom deals 10% more increased damage while Envenom's effect is active. Okay, so that's just a way to allow you to reproc Envenom whilst not reducing your beneficial gains from it. Sanguine Stratagem, gain 1 additional max combo point. Your finishing moves that consume 5 or more combo points have increased effects, and your finishing moves deal 5% increased damage. So this is fine. This is just a way, basically, to help a lot with flow, because Rogue, especially when you look at the combo point system, is quite punishing, especially for new players in understanding. So giving that extra combo point and also giving those extra effects is more than fine. Serrated Bone Spike has been redesigned. Prepare a Serrated Bone Spike every 30 seconds, stacking up to 3. Rapture spends a stack to embed a Bone Spike in the target, which will deal physical and bleed damage every 3 seconds until they die. Or leave combat, refends the stack when the target dies. Generates 1 combo point plus 1 additional per active Bone Spike. So this is cool. Basically, this is a great way to generate combo points and is a great way to help increase damage against single target enemies, which is fantastic. Because of this, though, the initial damage has been reduced and the damage over time has been reduced. But I think it's a warrant change because it makes the rotation less punishing and allows you more flow with your rotation. All ability damage increased by 15%, obviously barring these changes up here. Cut to the Chase is now learned. This we already discussed. Improved Garrett effect duration. This is fine. Indiscriminate Carnage effect duration reduced. This is also fine. Kingsbane damage bonus per poison application now has a stated cap of 1000% from 50 stacks, was 1980% to 99 stacks. So unfortunately, this is going to be a little bit of a bummer for a lot of people that like to run those solo rogue builds for raids. Unluckily, this is a bit of a bummer for you. So basically, It's just a flat nerf to the max brokenness of Kingsbane, but it does stack a bit faster and does more damage over time, so that's fine. And then Sepsis' Venom Rush has been removed. Okay, so I think overall for Assassination, only good changes really, and way less punishing rotation now. A little bit more of a recovery mechanic with Bone Spikes. Outlaw, main Gulch, damage increased by 24%, all abilities up 20%. Ace up your sleeve now grants 4 combo points. So this is just to compensate for the increased flat damage buff that they've got, so slightly knocking their rotation. Adrenaline Rush has been updated. Now, no longer increases global cooldown recovery rate while active. Now increases global cooldown recovery rate equal to your haste while active. So this is just to prioritize haste as a stat for rogues, actually. And energy regen up by 50% on 60. So this is quite a big change. Without having a flat 25% buff, it means you now have to potentially prioritize haste in terms of substats. So it's a big change in terms of gearing. More so than anything else, the actual change in the numbers is not too major depending on how much haste you need to proc the full 25. Then we have Counter Odds effect. Now it has a base chance of 10%, was 8%, and duration of 8 seconds was 5 seconds, but is no longer doubled while stealth. So basically we've got a flat buff to it, but we no longer get the benefits of attacking from stealth. Underhanded Upper Hand no longer affects Slice and Dice duration, and no longer grants 3 seconds of Subterfuge, which is a bit of a bummer. Crackshot's Dispatch effectiveness reduced to 50%, was 75. Thief's Versatility now increased versatility by 3%, was 4%. And Blade Flurry radius increased to 8 yards, was melee range. Sepsis has been removed. So this honestly not a huge issue. So this just basically means, because you don't spend a lot of time stealthed, you know, in a lot of fights, so this is just a way to basically say, okay, if you don't manage to get your stealth, you can still hold up damage. This one is a bit of a bummer, but I do kind of get it, as because of the change with Subterfuge, like as a spell. I think it makes sense. I think overall not a huge problem. You can see here Subterfuge effect duration changes, so I think this is just to compensate for that, and the rest are just small changes overall. Then we have Subtlety, so premeditation has been redesigned. After entering stealth, your next combo point generating ability generates full combo points, so that's cool. Just basically a way to accelerate your initial entry into a fight and allow yourself to start entering rotation faster. All ability damage up by 20%. Invigorating Shadow Dust now reduces cooldowns by 10 to 20 seconds, was 15 to 30. And Shadow Focus now reduces cost by 5%, and Shadow Dance has moved from the class tree to the Subtlety talent tree. Not a lot of changes here. Pretty just much general flat buffs, except for this, but also not a huge train smash. Listen, I think overall Rogue generally just got buffed. I think the biggest change is obviously being with Assassination, but this is much better flow, it feels to me overall, reading the abilities. But we'll have to see how it goes in practice. But I think, yeah, for me, Rogue, definitely some good changes. I think, don't think Rogue needed huge changes, but I like the fact that they've made the rotation. It seems a lot less punishing on Assassination and Outlaw. I think it's good, because basically there are some classes that do a great job but are so finicky to play, or have so many windows where you can screw things up, that not being able to not being able to punish those windows is more punishing to you than it is to the game. So this just kind of helps solve that overall. But yeah, that's it from me. Bye.